Yeah, welcome to my review of the Mi True Wireless Earphones 2 Basic, which is quite a mouthful. And sorry about the colours when it goes like orange. I apologise for this. I think the blue must throw it out of whack somehow, so I apologise for the blue. But anyway, these are a True Wireless pair, which are half in-ears, which is something different for me, and these came bundled with my phone. If you've seen my community posts, these and the Mi Band 5, and I thought, it's quite different, so let's try it out. And I repeat again, sorry about the colours, I don't know why it does that, and I'll make sure in the next video it won't happen again. But connection, it says in there, long lasting battery, which is fine. A lot of Chinese and English at the top, so it's 48 grams, type C charging, which is good. Bluetooth 5, does SBC and AAC. Doesn't do any aptX because it's obviously not Qualcomm. I presume it's Realtek. And that's it. Production date, as you can see, was July 2020, so very recent from when this video was actually made. And yeah, just straightforward. Let's open the box. You don't really get that much contents, but then again, this is the basic model, so it's one of their cheaper models. I don't know what the difference is between this and the more expensive model. So yeah, that's the actual case, and there's the buds themselves. Really straightforward. There's the Type C cable, which works perfectly fine. And that's it, Type C. Good to see. More Type C items, the better. Let's get this out. There's the instructions in, looks like about 9 different languages, and English is the first section, which I'll show you in a bit. Let's just take the let's double check the anything there. That's it. So yeah, here's the manual. Basic information, but I will show you later on more information on the actual Mi website. So there's 2 microphones. There's the touch area. In the indicator light is white, charging ports on the back, and the indicator light on the case flashes when the battery is low, or when it's high it will stay on like a constant light. Connecting, really straightforward. I'll explain how I did it with my phone later on in the video. Just connection history, functionality, how it works. And there's all the actual specifications and the model, which is the TWSE J08WM, and just the same kind of information that's actually on the box. And then, yeah, different language. I think it's German, the second language. So here's the case. Really compact. Kind of feels like an Apple product, which I guess is what they wanted. See that it stays seats constantly white. That means there's a high amount of battery power, Type C on the back. Like I said, when it's low on power, it will flash white. There's some just more information about in the charging voltages. It's hard to make it on the camera, but you'll obviously see in person. And here's the buds, like as you say, half in ear. The same quality, which I'll say later on, is kind of average. There is no low end because it doesn't seal, but that's the point. The details are okay, but for music and I don't think these things are that good really. Microphone at the bottom. There's the 2 charge pins. I'm not sure what you'd call them. And that's a microphone at the top. So there's 2 microphones on each, and it does have really good microphone quality, but you will hear that later on as well. Very basic design, but it's not too bad at all. It's functional, but for me, if you want to use these for constant phone calls, I think they work really well for actual phone call. Let's say that's what it looks like. Very simple design. So yeah, this is just me just pop them in and out of the case, just to show you what it looks like. That's it. As you say, the light's on, and when they charge, the lights will flash when they need power. Very simple, very straightforward. I like these because they're very easy to use. So yeah, this is the main page from Xiaomi's website, or Mi's website, and this is probably a better way of describing what it can do. So up to 20 hours battery life. That includes the 5 of the actual buds themselves, and then 15 from the case. It's very easy to use. It's only got AAC, so for Android and iOS. No Qualcomm, so I presume it has a Realtek chipset. There is no mention of it, and it obviously looks very Apple-like, is the best way to describe it. These are classed as half in-ears, which seems kind of odd, but the isolation on these is basically 0. But it depends. That might be good or bad on your, on the use case. And one thing to note is because of the seal is not very good. The low end is basically non-existent on these. But yeah, you can use dual microphones. As it says, dual microphones are in there. The call quality, I think, is fine. I will do you, after I've gone through this information, I have got a clip prepared for sound quality, and I think it actually sounds pretty good, but I'll get to that in a second. For pairing, it works perfect. I own a Poco F2 Pro, which is here in the listing, which is there, and it will do that. So basically what I had to do is turn the Bluetooth on, and then what you do is you put the case right next to it, open the lid, so Bluetooth on, open the lid, don't even have to take them out, and it will pair, and it will give you this information, and it worked really perfect. Obviously here is a list of the current compatible models, because my phone is modern, unlike my older Redmi Note 4, which is not obviously on that list. It paired perfect, and the actual performance is perfect because it's a modern phone. Just what it looks like. It looks kind of big. Sound. There's a 14.2mm driver, which is kind of big. It doesn't really, ultimately, I don't think it sounds that full because he's like non-existent low end. It sounds like the tonality is average at best. They're not bad earphones, but they're not amazing earphones. They're just average. I'm lucky mine come part of a bundle because these are £40 at the moment. I don't think they're worth £40 because the competition is quite good these days, to be honest. But they do have good details, really. The detail's not too bad, but they're not. They sound a little bit lifeless, is probably the best way to describe it. For speech, I had no issues, but for music and so forth, I think they performed average. Nothing really stood out. They're not really bright earphones. They're not bassy at all because it's like next to no bass. But for the use, they was fine. As you say, I'm lucky I had them bundled. Weight 4.7 grams, so nothing really. How they work, so as it says, you can tap either one twice. Voice activation does work. You have to tap the left one twice, as it states there. To pause, if you're using both, because it can be used in single, or you can use both. So if you're using both, you tap the right one. If you're using just a single one, you just tap. If you're just using the single one, you just tap it twice. And then it says to pause it. To pause it, it's quite weird how they've built it. Is you take them out your ear, either one, if you're using them in stereo, take it out your ear a couple of inches, and it will pause the music or pause YouTube or everything. And then you put it back in your ear, and it unpauses it. So I like that because it's good if somebody's trying to talk to you. Just a quick second, pop one out of your ear. Speak to them, and when you're done, you can pop it back in. I like that. I've never seen that before. That's quite a unique thing, which is here. So basically what he's done is taking it out of his ear, and he does pause it, as it states here. But it obviously does state here, does not support movie playing and automatic pause function with third-party player. I've tried it with YouTube and it works fine in that regard, so obviously how it looks like on you. As you say, they're kind of big. And that's it, just more information about stability and all that. I tried it with my phone in AAC mode, which is the Poco F2 Pro, like I said before, where we just with YouTube, and the sync was perfect. I haven't tried it with any games because I don't really play games. Even though my phone is like more than up to the task, I didn't play any games. And that's it. That's what they look like. This is just a sample recording of me using the Mi True Wireless Earphones 2 basic model, using them both in stereo, and this is what it sounds like. I think it sounds fine. And yeah, this is using the Realtek chipset, and it's using the recorder in my phone, which is a Poco F2 Pro, and this is what it sounds like. So my conclusion is these are not very good. The actual touch controls are kind of hit and miss. The music sounds kind of flat, but they're useful when you take them in and out of you. They do pause. Battery life is good. Connection is good. These are good for calls, but for actual music, they just sound like kind of flat and lifeless. Yeah, so controls aren't very good. There's much better options, I think, at this price and below. Good stage as well. And that's it. Other options are better. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care.